These girls make too much in tips anyway. Kevin Washington pauses with his fork halfway to his mouth. The CEO of Morning Glory Diners sits in a booth of his own restaurant, watching the assistant manager Rachel Bennett slide $20 bills into her jacket pocket. Emily Thompson scrubs tables with shaking hands. Her tip jar sits nearly empty. $40 vanished while she served Kevin his coffee. Kevin reaches for his phone as Rachel counts the stolen bills, smiling. When she pockets another $5 tip from a nearby table, he starts recording. Emily stares at her empty jar. Rent is due soon. Rachel just stole her grocery money, unaware her own CEO witnessed everything. The single mother whispers to a coworker about needing the cash. Kevin's breakfast grows cold as he captures every word. What he records will expose months of theft. The meal he came here to enjoy is about to become the most important breakfast of his career. Kevin Washington had planned this differently. A quick breakfast before his board meeting, nothing more. He had chosen this location at random, the Morning Glory Diner on Maple Avenue, tucked between a dry cleaner and a cell phone repair shop in a working-class neighborhood of Atlanta he rarely visited. The diner buzzes with morning energy. Construction workers grab coffee to go. Office employees scroll their phones while waiting for orders. Regular customers know the servers by name. The kind of community atmosphere Kevin built his chain around. Emily Thompson moves between tables with practiced efficiency, despite obvious exhaustion. Dark circles shadow her eyes, and her uniform hangs loose on her small frame. She refills Kevin's coffee without being asked, notices his untouched toast, and offers fresh jam. "Everything all right with your eggs, sir?" she asks, genuine concern in her voice. "Perfect, thank you." Kevin watches her work. She looks about 30. The wedding ring is gone, but the tan line remains. Single mother, he guesses. The kind of employee who keeps diners like this running. Behind the counter, Rachel Bennett commands the morning operation with military precision. She has perfectly styled auburn hair and makeup applied despite the early shift. She has worked for Morning Glory for some time, and Kevin remembers approving her promotion to assistant manager. "Emily!" Rachel's voice cuts through the breakfast chatter. "Table 6 needs their check. Table 9 wants more coffee. Move." Emily hurries between stations, apologizing to customers for delays that are not her fault. Kevin notices the pattern. Rachel assigns Emily the most demanding tables while giving herself the easy regulars. As the breakfast rush peaks, every booth fills and orders back up in the kitchen. Rachel positions herself at the register, controlling all transactions with territorial intensity. A businessman leaves a $10 tip on a modest check. Emily clears his plate, smiles gratefully at the money, then carries the dishes to the bus station. Rachel intercepts her on the return trip. "I'll handle the tip collection today," she announces loud enough for nearby customers to hear. New corporate policy about cash management. Kevin's fork stops midway to his mouth. There is no such policy. He wrote the employee handbook himself. Emily's face falls, but she nods silently. "Of course, Rachel." Rachel sweeps the bill into her apron pocket with practiced casualness. No recording, no tracking, no splitting with kitchen staff as required by company protocol. Straight theft executed with the confidence of someone who has never been challenged. Kevin's phone buzzes with a text from his assistant, but he ignores it, his attention completely absorbed by what he is witnessing. The next stretch of time reveals a systematic operation. Rachel collects tips from Emily's tables while allowing other servers to keep theirs. She invents excuses, corporate audit, balancing the books, or simply "I'll take care of it." Emily never argues. She serves customers with genuine warmth, receives their appreciation and generosity, then watches it disappear into Rachel's pocket. Dozens of dollars vanish during Kevin's meal alone. At one table, an elderly woman leaves a $20 tip for Emily's attentive service during a complicated order substitution. Emily's face brightens. $20 means something significant to her. Rachel appears within seconds. Big tip. The company needs to track these for tax purposes. The lie is so casual, so confident that Kevin almost believes it himself. Almost. Emily's shoulders slump as Rachel pockets the money. The single mother returns to work, her earlier energy drained. She moves mechanically now, the joy stolen along with her cash. Kevin pulls out his business card, confirming his worst suspicions. Kevin Washington, Chief Executive Officer, Morning Glory Diners. The company values printed on the back: respect, integrity, community. Mock him. His own manager is robbing his employees, using corporate policy as cover for personal theft. The coffee grows cold in his cup as calculations run through his head. If Rachel steals $50 or $60 per shift from Emily alone, those stolen tips likely represent a huge portion of her income. Rent money, grocery money, money for her child's school supplies or medical bills. Kevin's jaw tightens as he watches Rachel pocket another tip. This one left by a young father impressed with Emily's patience serving his toddler. The board meeting can wait. Kevin Washington has more important business to attend to. But first, he needs proof that will stand up in court and protect his employees from retaliation. He signals Emily for his check, already planning his return. Kevin's plan to leave quietly evaporates when he witnesses what happens next. A family of 4 finishes breakfast, parents with twin daughters around 6 years old. The girls colored on their placemats, while Emily brought extra crayons, helped clean spilled orange juice, and patiently answered questions about the pancake shapes. The father, a construction worker by the look of his worn jeans and steel-toed boots, leaves $18 on the check, a generous tip that probably stretches his budget. "Tell the nice lady thank you," he instructs his daughters. They chorus their thanks, and Emily genuinely smiles for the first time Kevin has seen. "You're so welcome, sweethearts. Come back and see me soon." The family leaves, and Emily begins clearing their table. She spots the $18, her face lighting up with relief and gratitude. For a moment, exhaustion melts away. She carefully smooths the crumpled bills, counting them twice. Rachel appears like a predator, sensing weakness. "Emily, bring that money here. Large tips require manager verification." Kevin watches Emily's smile die. The transformation is heartbreaking. Hope crushed in real time. "But Rachel, it's just $18. The handbook says tips under 20 don't need." "Are you questioning company policy?" Rachel's voice carries across the diner. Several customers turn to watch. Because questioning management is grounds for immediate termination. Emily's hands tremble as she surrenders the bills. "No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... Maybe you're not management material after all." Rachel counts the money slowly, deliberately. Some people just don't understand business. The cruelty is breathtaking. Rachel doesn't just steal. She humiliates. She uses fear and intimidation to ensure compliance, turning theft into a power game that breaks down her victim's self-worth. Kevin grips his coffee cup so hard his knuckles whiten. Rachel pockets the $18 while Emily stands there defeated. "Get back to work. Table 15 needs attention." Emily nods and retreats, but Kevin catches the moment her composure cracks. She ducks behind the coffee station, thinking she is hidden, and wipes tears from her eyes. Quick, furtive movements that speak of practiced concealment. She can't afford to cry at work. She can't risk being seen as emotional or unstable. She can't give Rachel additional ammunition for harassment or termination. Kevin's business instincts catalog everything. The systematic targeting of one employee, the public humiliation designed to prevent resistance, the calculated cruelty that goes far beyond simple theft. Rachel isn't just stealing money. She is destroying a person. At the next table, an impatient businessman snaps his fingers at Emily. "Waitress, where's my refill?" Emily hurries over with fresh coffee, apologizing for the delay that wasn't her fault. The customer doesn't acknowledge her apology or her service. No tip gets left behind. Rachel watches from the register with satisfied smugness. She has created a system where Emily does all the work while receiving none of the reward, where fear prevents complaint or resistance. Kevin observes other staff interactions, looking for patterns. Brian the cook occasionally glances at Emily with concern, but doesn't intervene. Jessica, another server, keeps her distance. Self-preservation in a toxic workplace. The part-time college student behind the counter avoids eye contact entirely. Everyone knows what is happening. Nobody feels safe enough to act. As the breakfast rush begins winding down, Rachel makes her move for the final humiliation. She approaches Emily, who is wiping down her last table, and speaks loudly enough for remaining customers to hear. "Your section needs better cleaning. Table 6 has syrup residue. Table 12 has crumbs. Maybe if you focused more on work and less on other things, your performance would improve." Emily's cheeks burn with embarrassment. She grabs cleaning supplies and re-cleans perfectly clean tables, while customers watch with uncomfortable expressions. Kevin feels anger building in his chest. Not the cold calculation of business problem-solving, but hot personal fury at watching someone abuse power against the defenseless. Rachel returns to the register and makes a show of counting the morning's tips, all the money Emily earned through excellent service stolen systematically. She doesn't even try to hide the theft anymore. She is confident in her power, secure in the knowledge that Emily won't resist. Kevin watches Emily finish cleaning and check the schedule for her next shift. Her movements carry the weight of someone trapped in an impossible situation, needing the job to survive but slowly being destroyed by staying. The businessman who snapped his fingers earlier leaves without tipping. Emily clears his table mechanically, no longer expecting fairness or kindness. That is when Kevin realizes the full scope of Rachel's crime. She is not just stealing money. She is stealing hope. Kevin pays his check and leaves a $20 tip, watching carefully to see what happens. Emily brightens when she spots the money. But before she can collect it, Rachel intercepts. "I'll handle this one too. Large bills need documentation." $20 isn't large by any standard, but Emily doesn't protest. She simply nods and turns away, defeat carved into her posture. Kevin exits without revealing his identity, his mind already formulating a plan. In the parking lot, he sits in his car and processes what he witnessed. This isn't random misconduct. It is systematic exploitation designed to maximize Rachel's profit while minimizing Emily's ability to resist. His phone rings. His assistant sounds concerned, but Kevin cancels the board meeting and everything else. A personnel matter requires immediate attention. Kevin drives home and changes clothes. The navy business suit disappears, replaced by faded jeans, a worn flannel shirt, and a baseball cap. He adds reading glasses and lets his usual clean shave grow into light stubble. Not a perfect disguise, but enough to avoid immediate recognition. He studies the employee handbook he wrote, refreshing his memory on tip policies. The rules are clear. Servers keep individual tips. Shared tips get distributed equally among all staff, and management never touches tip money except for documented tax purposes. Rachel violated every guideline. He researches local employment law, confirming that tip theft constitutes wage theft, a criminal offense. His lawyer confirms the suspicions. Tip theft is serious business. Solid evidence is needed. Recordings, documentation, multiple incidents. Kevin nods grimly. Rachel's overconfidence will be her downfall. Kevin Washington returns to his own restaurant as a different person entirely. The investigation begins at dawn. He chooses a corner booth with clear sightlines to the register and tip collection areas. Emily doesn't recognize him. Exhaustion clouds her recognition, and the disguise works better than expected. She serves him coffee with the same genuine warmth she shows every customer, despite the weariness etched in her features. She suggests the morning special. Kevin orders and settles in to observe. Within minutes, he witnesses Rachel steal tips from Emily's tables. Each theft follows the same pattern. Rachel waits until Emily moves away, approaches the table with manufactured authority, and pockets the money while inventing corporate policies that don't exist. Further visits reveal worse behavior. Rachel schedules Emily for double shifts without notice. "I know you're tired, but we're short-staffed. You can handle it, right?" Emily nods because she has no choice. Kevin watches her work long hours straight while Rachel takes extended breaks. The tip theft escalates. Rachel creates a complex system where Emily's tips get redistributed to other staff members, with Rachel keeping the largest portions for administrative fees. She plants seeds of doubt in customers' minds while justifying theft. Kevin records everything on his phone, using a small tripod disguised as a phone charger to capture steady footage. Rachel's crimes pile up: wage theft, harassment, creating a hostile work environment, falsifying time records. The worst discovery comes when Kevin positions himself near the employee break room and overhears Rachel talking to Brian the cook. Emily's getting too comfortable, asking questions about tips. I might need to document some performance issues. The thread is clear: comply or face termination. Rachel isn't just stealing money. She is preparing to destroy Emily's reputation to protect her criminal enterprise. Further shifts provide the most damaging evidence. Kevin watches Rachel steal more money, then hears Emily approach her during a quiet moment, speaking barely above a whisper. "Rachel, I hate to bother you, but my daughter needs medicine, and I'm short on money. Could I possibly get an advance on my tips from this week?" Rachel's response drips with false sympathy. "Oh, honey, I wish I could help, but corporations don't allow advances. Maybe you should budget better." Kevin knows Emily earned significant tips that week, all stolen by Rachel. The woman is asking for an advance on money she already earned. Rachel creates a fake tip-pooling system that exists nowhere in company policy, collecting all tips and redistributing them according to her own criteria. Only Emily faces the pooling policy. During one busy shift, a large family leaves a $50 tip for Emily's exceptional care. Emily's face shows pure relief when she spots it. Rachel swoops in immediately. Big tips like that need to be documented for tax purposes. Emily watches the $50 disappear into Rachel's pocket. Money that could pay for her daughter's medicine, buy groceries, and cover part of the rent. Kevin overhears the conversation that changes everything. Emily approaches Brian during a quiet moment, her voice barely carrying, filled with shame and desperation. "She took our tips again. I can't pay rent this month. My daughter needs her inhaler and I don't know what to do." Brian glances around nervously. "Maybe talk to corporate." "With what proof? It's my word against a manager. They'll just fire me." The conversation continues, each whispered word building Kevin's case. He has everything he needs: hours of footage, multiple witnesses, documented theft, and Emily's own testimony about the systematic abuse. This isn't just theft. It is psychological warfare designed to break down a vulnerable employee until she accepts abuse as normal. The investigation phase is over. Kevin Washington reveals himself. He arrives early and positions himself in the booth closest to Rachel's office. His phone records continuously, capturing Rachel's most damning confession yet as she speaks with Chris, the part-time assistant manager. Those girls make more in tips than they deserve. Emily pulls in hundreds a week just for carrying plates. Meanwhile, I'm here managing everything, keeping this place profitable. Jennifer's tips are really profit margin money that should support the business, not some single mom's shopping habit. Rachel admits to systematic theft while justifying it as a business strategy. She has been documenting fake performance issues to fire Emily for cause if she ever complains. She even calls another Morning Glory location across town, asking how other managers handle servers who make too much in tips. Kevin realizes with horror that Rachel's theft might extend beyond this restaurant. The smoking gun is complete. Tomorrow, Kevin Washington ends Rachel Bennett's criminal enterprise forever. The breakfast rush peaks as Kevin enters the diner for the last time in disguise. He orders coffee from Emily, who serves him with the same tired professionalism. At the moment Rachel reaches for another tip, Kevin stands up. "Excuse me?" he calls out, his voice carrying across the suddenly quiet diner. "I think there's been a mistake." Rachel freezes, her hand halfway to the bills. Kevin removes his baseball cap and reading glasses. "The mistake is thinking you could steal from my employees without consequences. I'm Kevin Washington, CEO of Morning Glory Diners, and I've been watching you rob Emily Thompson." The diner falls completely silent. Emily drops the coffee pot she is holding. It shatters against the floor, but nobody moves to clean it. Rachel's mouth opens and closes. "Mr. Washington, I can explain. Explain stealing hundreds from Emily. Explain the fake corporate policies. Explain telling Chris that Emily's tips are really profit margins." Kevin plays the recordings. Rachel's voice is clear and unmistakable. Emily's knees buckle. She grabs the counter for support, staring at Kevin in disbelief. You're really the CEO?" "I am. And I'm sorry it took me this long to discover what was happening to you." Rachel scrambles for damage control. "There's been a serious misunderstanding. I was implementing efficiency measures. You were committing wage theft." Kevin's words cut through her lies. He plays more recordings. The threats, the admissions, the falsified documents. The customers watch in fascination. Several pull out phones recording the confrontation. Rachel tries righteous indignation, then desperation, then rage. "You're ungrateful. This job was charity. Aha. I could fire you tomorrow and no one would care about some single mother." "That's enough," Kevin says coldly. "Rachel Bennett, you're terminated effective immediately. Security will escort you out. Your personal belongings will be mailed to you. The police will want to discuss criminal charges for wage theft, fraud, and intimidation." Customers begin applauding. Within seconds, the entire diner erupts in applause for Emily and Kevin's courage. Rachel grabs her purse and flees. Her criminal enterprise ends forever. Kevin turns to Emily, who stands frozen in shock. "Emily, we need to talk about your future here." He announces to everyone present that she is owed immediate restitution. He writes her a check for $1,500 to cover the documented theft, damages, and a bonus for the harassment. Fresh tears flow as Emily nods, clutching the check like a lifeline. Kevin addresses the packed diner. "Everyone here witnessed systematic employee abuse disguised as management. That stops today permanently." He promotes Brian to head cook with a raise in supervisory authority. He promotes Jessica to senior server with a raise and expanded responsibilities. He offers Emily the position of assistant manager with a solid salary, full benefits, and the chance to keep her tips when she works the floor. She accepts, promising to protect employees the way he protected her. He distributes his personal cell number to the staff with direct authorization to call about any harassment or theft. No retaliation, no bureaucracy. Regional Manager Susan Wells arrives to formalize the changes. The restaurant will implement revolutionary employee protection standards, profit sharing, education assistance, and zero tolerance for abuse. The transformation is immediate. Staff members stand straighter. The toxic atmosphere evaporates, replaced by hope and mutual respect. Power transfers from an abuser to a protector. Justice is served. Systems change. Lives transform. Weeks later, Kevin returns unannounced in his usual business attire. The transformation greets him before he even enters. Fresh paint on the exterior. New signage. Inside, laughter echoes from the kitchen. Servers move with confident energy. The tip jars are transparent and clearly labeled. Tips go directly to your server. Management never touches tip money. Guaranteed. Emily approaches his table, radiating confidence. Her uniform fits properly. Genuine joy lights her face. She leads him on a tour showcasing systematic improvements. The employee break room features comfortable seating and positive feedback. New schedules reduce waste and provide predictable hours. Training programs empower new hires. The communication policy ensures no surprises, no retaliation, no fear. Kevin notices supportive leadership everywhere. Trust, empowerment, available backup without micromanagement. A regular customer praises the transformation. Emily has become a natural leader. When Kevin asks how she is doing personally, she says the opportunity is healing her. Her daughter Emma is proud. My mom is a boss lady. Months later, Kevin sits in the same booth reading about the chain's record employee satisfaction and customer growth. Emily, now a district manager overseeing multiple locations, hands him a handmade card from Emma. Thank you for helping my mom be brave. The story has become a model copied throughout the restaurant industry. Kevin's phone buzzes with interview requests. Emily's story deserves national attention. Every worker deserves dignity, fair treatment, and leaders who protect instead of exploit them. In the heart of a bustling Atlanta diner, one ordinary morning revealed a truth that cuts straight to the soul. True leadership isn't measured by profit margins or polished titles. It's proven in the quiet moments when you choose to protect the vulnerable instead of looking the other way. Kevin Washington could have finished his coffee, attended his board meeting, and let the injustice slide. But he didn't. He saw a hard-working single mother named Emily Thompson pouring her heart into every table, only to have her tips and her hope stolen by someone she trusted. What followed wasn't just justice. It was a powerful reminder that every act of cruelty leaves scars, but every act of courage can heal them. Emily's exhaustion, her trembling hands, and the way she fought back tears behind the coffee station weren't just workplace drama. They were the daily reality for too many good people grinding through life, trying to provide for their kids while someone in power chips away at their dignity. Yet Kevin's decision to step in, document the truth, and lift Emily from despair to district manager showed us something beautiful. When leaders choose integrity over convenience, broken systems transform, fear turns to trust, and ordinary heroes rise. This story whispers to all of us, whether you're a boss, a parent, a coworker, or simply someone scrolling through your day, that standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable, ripples far beyond one restaurant. It restores faith in humanity. It proves that kindness backed by action can rewrite someone's entire future, turning a single mom's quiet desperation into proud confidence and a little girl's drawing that says, "My mom is a boss lady." If this tale moved you, if it reminded you of times you've been overlooked or inspired you to speak up for someone else, drop a comment below sharing your own story of courage or justice. Which part touched you most? Hit that like button if you believe every worker deserves their earned tips and real respect. And subscribe for more real-life stories that restore your faith in humanity. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next one, because the world needs more reminders that good still wins.